Greetings to all who wish to be greeted. I'm MegaPacKid, and this is my game shelf. Throughout the entire MegaPacKid's game shelf series, I haven't made a part 2 or direct follow-up to any video that I've made. This is an episodic series, it's not serialized. I don't want people to have to watch previous videos in order to understand the true core concept behind these videos, because it makes them less accessible to people. So, for me, at least, it's really weird that now I'm doing this. So much has happened since I made my first video about the Jacksfilms and SSSniperwolf drama that I just have to talk about it, especially because everyone else is right now, so I might as well join the fun. If you haven't seen the previous video, I'll briefly summarize what I went over there, but I will mainly be focusing on what has happened since. So, Jacksfilms is a comedy YouTuber. He's been on the platform for a very long time, and he is notable for doing a lot of things, but one of them, especially recently, is calling out reaction content. He feels that it's not transformative. It's not doing anything, it's just stealing people's content. He's talked about people like Ray William Johnson and Jinx, who specifically stole one of his videos in just not reacting to it. Essentially, his whole video was,
"Airsoft's so stupid, you could like lose eyes. They should be banned."
Of course, that second layer, also being Jacksfilms, was from the video that Jacksfilms made, reacting to Jinx's video, because Jinx didn't provide any additional commentary on the video itself. Nothing that was substantial enough for Jack not to be mad about it. This is the same thing that SSSniperwolf does. Originally on the internet as Sexy Sexy Sniper, so that must be where the additional 2 S's come from. Anyway, originally on the internet as Sexy Sexy Sniper, she was making video game content under the name SSSniperwolf with her partner, who allegedly was playing the video game and just telling her how to act like she was playing the video game, even though all the footage was captured by him. YouTuber Murray's Annie, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, made a great video about it, which I'll link in the description, and highly recommend you watch. It's real interesting because there's a lawsuit happening with regards to this, so go check that out after you watch this video. She moved from gaming content to reacting content, in which she finds a bunch of videos, mainly from TikTok, and reacts to them. And I put an asterisk next to react because a lot of the time she doesn't provide any insightful commentary. She doesn't say anything about the videos. Sometimes she plays them multiple times just to have the same reaction to them that she had the first time. Sometimes she uses the same video in multiple videos that she's made. Now, granted, if I made 8-minute to 10-minute long videos daily for several months, even years, I would probably forget about every individual video that I had watched, but it's still a little weird and feels a little icky. Now, Jack made a few videos and even a channel deconstructing what SSSniperwolf does and really just putting a whole bunch of trash, really trying to put her down, which is not something that's too far off from what he had done before. But what really sent him over the edge was when YouTube started promoting SSSniperwolf's content. And I don't just mean she was on the homepage a little more than other YouTubers. I mean, YouTube made her a panel speaker at VidCon and was promoting her on their official Twitter accounts. Where does SSSniperwolf get her ideas from? From her fans, of course. She reacts to TikToks. What ideas is she getting from fans? This sent Jacksfilms over the edge on a Twitter rant, which sent SSSniperwolf over the edge, talking about how she very much disliked his criticisms of her. Then he talked more about how he disliked her content and how she was retaliating, and then she talked about how she disliked his hairline. So that just made him go full into Jacksfilms, his channel where he just critiqued her content, and he would make videos that were just shortened versions of Twitch streams in which he would react to her videos and critique her reactions. Now, while creating these Twitch streams, he found that a lot of the critiques were of the same things. In fact, SSSniperwolf's reactions were pretty much indistinguishable from each other after watching a few videos. So because of this, someone created a bingo card, which evolved into SSniperwolf Bingo, a game that Jack streams live on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then condenses the videos down in order to make them viewable on YouTube. This bingo game involves all the things that are expected of SSniperwolf. Everything from the various catchphrases she has, to the various ways that she edits her videos, to even actual insight, which is very rare. The free space is called no credit because so often she fails to credit the people that she's taking content from. And unlike other content curators like Daily Dose of Internet, she doesn't ask for permission from these people. This, in the fashion that SSniperwolf does, is more often than not copyright infringement because she doesn't provide anything of transformative value to make it fair use. Now, you might think that copyright only applies to things like movies, TV shows, books, music, not a TikTok video or even a YouTube video. But the fact is, even in TikTok and YouTube's end user license agreements, they still have copyright protection. Some platforms will say in their end user license agreements that they actually own any content that's posted there, but YouTube and TikTok are different. Their end user license agreements only say that they're allowed to use the content in any way they wish and host them on their websites, which is the main function of the websites, so it makes sense that that would be in the end user license agreements. At the end of the day, this just means that if YouTube wanted to use this video to advertise YouTube, they absolutely could, and I couldn't do anything about it. But it also means that I can use this video in any way that I want. It's still, at the end of the day, my video. If I wanted to put this video in a movie, then I could do that. But if Steven Spielberg put this video in a movie without my knowledge or consent, then that would be copyright infringement, which would be wild. Editing Dahlia here. I forgot to mention that the reason I brought this up in the first place is because, as per the terms of service, if SSniperwolf were an official employee of TikTok, then she would be able to do these videos without it being fair use. But the fact is she's not on the company's official payroll, so even though she has a TikTok account, that doesn't matter. She's not allowed to do this, according to the law anyway. Again, this is for things that don't provide transformative value, which most of the time SSniperwolf doesn't. She often just summarizes the videos, and again, without the explicit permission from the people who created them, or even the credit most of the time. This is definitely copyright infringement, which is why people are allowed to take her videos down, or at least take these segments from these videos that actually have their content in them. That's what Jacksfilms is doing. He's trying to inform people that SSniperwolf is taking their content and using it in a way that provides all the profit and glory for her, and lets none of these people actually get the benefits from being in a SSniperwolf video. This is a process called freebooting, and SSniperwolf isn't the only one who's doing it. In one of his more recent videos on his main channel about it, Jacksfilms talked to a bunch of people who have had their content stolen and re-uploaded to other places without their knowledge or consent or shared profits. In the case of the real Sully G, his videos were taken, put onto an app, and then put behind a paywall that he had no involvement in. That is the most egregious form of copyright infringement that I've talked about in this video, and while SSniperwolf doesn't do something that's that bad, it's very similar because she makes quite a lot of money, which also makes its way over to YouTube, which is part of the reason why they promote her, but also YouTube shouldn't be promoting her because all she's doing is compiling TikToks, barely reacting to them at that. But if YouTube doesn't take her down, it's understandable, if not a little scummy. At least they are actually listening to creators, for the most part, who have had their content stolen and put onto SSSniperwolf's channel, as it is actually copyright infringement. But if they don't say anything, then YouTube doesn't do anything, which is why Jack is making this content in the first place. If SSniperwolf changed her ways and made content that was actually transformative, then he probably would stop. But if she can't do that and still maintain her style, that may just be a problem with the genre of reaction content altogether. Now, because of the lengths that Jacksfilms has gone to, SSniperwolf has claimed that he is harassing her, although what he's doing doesn't fit the actual, at least legal definition of harassment. But hey, Jack isn't doing anything that will actually be detrimental to her. I mean, it's not like he found out where she lived and then showed up at her house and then took video of her house and put it on Instagram saying that he just wants to talk. You know, it's not like he doxed her or anything, because that's what she did. SSniperwolf found out where Jacksfilms lived, then went to his house, far away but still there, took video of it, and then said, "Let's talk like adults," tagging Jacksfilms on her Instagram story for all of her followers to see. According to California's legal definition of doxing, which in simple terms is putting identifiable information of someone's location on the internet with intent to harass, which is exactly what's happened here, she absolutely doxed him, and now he and his wife both feel unsafe in their home. At least they're fine for now, according to Jack in a video that he made. He did say that he feels shaken up, and it's completely understandable. But now, because of this, while there were maybe a few people, especially small channels like my own and Janelle's, who were talking about this and maybe mentioning how SSniperwolf has become more hated on the internet because Jacksfilms is calling her out, now everyone is talking about how she doxed him. Everyone agrees that she's done it. And because of California, the state that both she and Jacksfilms are subject to the laws of, because that's where this happened and that's where they reside, she did. So she can't claim that she doesn't know how to dox someone. Oh gosh darn it! Jack has said that he and his wife, who has nothing to do with this but still lives in that house, are scared. They're scared to be in their own home, which absolutely no one should be. And you might think that because SSniperwolf didn't actually post his address and even claims that he put it on Google, but I couldn't find it, which means she had to really go out of her way to figure out what his address was. You might think that that's not doxing, but I know from personal experience that someone who's really good at GeoGuessr could figure out where he lived just from this video. I have a friend who had their address compromised because they were posting footage from outside where they were living because of this person who was just really good at GeoGuessr. That's scary. And SSniperwolf's making light of the whole situation? Don't do that. That's bad. Nobody is on your side here, save for maybe some of your friends. While before it was copyright infringement, and relatively light copyright infringement at that, now you've actually taken a step too far. Jack's a very public person, at least easy to contact. You could have absolutely just talked to him, maybe gone to one of his live streams or into the comments sections of his videos and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this privately," or even doing it publicly. But posting the man's house? That's not okay. And I know you know it's not okay because you deleted your story, which is the right thing to do, but that's to correct the wrong thing you did. I am so mad at everything that's happened. This is absolutely not okay. It's disgusting. Sniperwolf, as a result of her actions, needs to be deplatformed. This can't go without consequences. But YouTube and Instagram have stayed quiet about this. It makes sense. She brings a lot of traffic for them, especially right now, and I'm adding to the flames by making this video, but going to someone's house and posting it for the world to see when they haven't consented to that, when they haven't done it themselves, that's not okay. That can't be allowed just because she has a big following. I have for sure taken too long in editing this video, but it's a good thing that I have because new information has come out. The real Sully G has made a video talking about YouTube's response to what Sniperwolf has done. So originally, and technically still is part of their public terms of service, that anyone who does something that is harmful, like doxing to people who are users of YouTube, whether the action is taken on the platform or off, will result in a disciplinary action. It's happened before, and it's just not happening with Sniperwolf. In fact, Sully reached out to YouTube's creator support, and they have basically all but said outright that as long as it didn't happen on YouTube, then it's out of their jurisdiction, it's out of their control, and they're not going to do anything about it because it didn't happen on YouTube, which is a change that they have specifically made for Sniperwolf. That is insane. Well, both this video and the last one were very much inspired by Janelle's content on this subject. I highly recommend you go check out her videos on it because it's very informative and she has definitely put in more effort than I did. In the previous video, I was sad that Jacksfilms' content was not like it used to be because he was spending all of his time talking about Sniperwolf and making videos about her. And while that has since been a little remedied on his second channel, Jack is a Nerd, this is much, much more sad. Especially because YouTube and Instagram haven't said anything about Sniperwolf's actions. They can't condone this. At the very least, they're not going to promote her content like they had been before. So, if that's all we get, then I guess it's better than nothing. Even though, I suppose that would be literally nothing. Well, that was sad. Sorry I'm so somber and jaded about this whole thing. And I promise that I'll be making more gaming-related content. I just had to talk about this. So anyway, be sure to come back next week when I make a video rating all of Rosalina's costumes in Mario Kart Tour.